Tools are great. See, I don't know the distance from over here to over there. So I have a tool that will tell me. It's 2.4 meters. Now I know. The thing is, if you took this tape measure away from me, I would struggle to build things and do stuff like that, but for the most part I would manage. Using the tape measure doesn't hurt my ability to guess the distance from point A to point B. And the biggest risk attached to it is that every now and then this happens. It hurts when it catches my finger like that, but I'll be fine. But take AI. Using AI can multiply what you can do by like 1,000 times. You can do more, you can be better. You can reach further if you use AI. But it's not as simple as it is with the tape measure, because with AI, you're actually giving something up every single time you use it, and it will become a real problem. There are extremely positive breakthroughs happening in science right now, mostly in medicine, thanks to AI. I think we've all seen the articles about how AI can now detect cancer months before a human could, and that is brilliant, that is unbelievable. But the AI that we have access to, that I think will make the world collapse. And I don't mean that in the robots will become independent and wipe out the planet kind of way, but more so I think our brains will deteriorate, as mostly everything that we find difficult or unpleasant will be handled by a robot. See, when I'm using the tape measure, I'm trying to reach some place that I cannot reach myself. That's not really what a tape measure is for though, is it? Well, whatever. It's similar to using AI in that I wanted to solve a problem for me that I cannot solve on my own. But with the tape measure, and I promise this is the last time I will say tape measure, I'm pushing the tool forward while still standing firm in my initial place. See? Alright, so the whole point of this stupid intro was that using a real tool is safe while using AI is dangerous, and now I've actually hurt my hand. The problem that I see with AI is that by using it, you're actually giving up that initial position. By telling it to solve problems for you, you yourself are actually becoming less able to solve problems on your own. You're literally weakening that part of your brain. And maybe not today, because we still don't rely on it for everything that we do, but we all know that that's where it's heading. Entrepreneurs today have one sole objective in mind, and that is to find some industry which they can disrupt with the use of AI, and it will eventually happen to every single one of those industries. And then we'll become dumb. Sorry. See, the brain isn't a muscle, but the way it works isn't that different. I'm not a very muscular person, and there is a reason for that, and that reason is that I don't exercise those muscles that much. I used to, so there was a time when I actually had a decent physique, but since then my muscles shrunk to their current unremarkable state, and that's fair enough. I used to be pretty good at math back in school, whenever I tried here and there, but I'm not anymore. I forgot all of it because, well, I don't solve complex math problems in my day-to-day life anymore. I'm not flexing that muscle. And using a calculator really doesn't refresh my memory. It solves the problem for me instead of forcing me to recall the knowledge that I had on how to solve it myself. So I need that calculator every single time now because I just cannot do it myself. And AI is that calculator for everything. Let's do a little experiment, because this is the part of the video when I will get a little bit more relaxed with all the different camera angles, and I will kind of just talk. But you don't want to just sit here for the next couple of minutes and stare at my face. So what I did is that I went on a short walk, and I thought I could play some of the footage that I shot on the walk, while continuing on with the video and trying to explain my point further. And the reason why I say that this is a bit of an experiment is because it wasn't beautiful outside today. The footage that I shot almost looks kind of depressing. And I could just go on one of those video generating sites and play you some gorgeous, entertaining, artificial footage. And maybe that would be better. But I have a sense that people still care about stuff that is real, even when it's imperfect. But I don't know. Back to my previous point, an argument that might be running through your head is that, well, it's okay that we will be less able to solve problems because we will have AI to solve the problems for us, and we won't ever be forced to solve those problems. It's okay that you don't know how to do complex math anymore because you do have that calculator in your pocket at all times. And sure, that's true in a way, but right now it's still just one small aspect, just one small problem. And as I already said, there will be a calculator for everything. But does anyone want to live like that? Does anyone want to just hand off all of their problems to some robot that will do it for them. I mean, take these videos as an example. One of the many reasons for why I love making these videos is that it challenges me like almost nothing else. Making these videos is incredibly hard for me. It is a huge struggle to write them because I always try to say something that might perhaps help someone, but then I second guess everything that I'm saying because does it even make sense? And what if I'm actually hurting someone with what I'm saying? It's terribly difficult for me to film these because I tell myself that I'm a good cinematographer, and it's kind of obvious that I at least try, but I'm always scared that I won't be able to back it up and I will kind of embarrass myself in that way. It's hard for me to edit these, it's hard to come up with the titles and the thumbnails, and all of that is why I love doing it and why I will probably never stop, because it's exercising my creative muscles. But I am wrong to do it like this. The truth is, I also want that YouTube money. I do want this to be my job. And the fastest way to make this my job would be to sit down, ask ChatGPT for 30 viral video ideas, pick one, ask it to write a script for me, ask it to come up with a thumbnail and a title, then download one of those automatic video editing softwares, put those huge, ugly, annoying subtitles over it, post it, and there is no doubt in my mind that that would make money faster than this. Actually, this might never make money. The people that do rely on AI when making their videos will get money, but they will get nothing else. And I will choose this path every single time, because this video might be imperfect and there might only be 20 people who will ever see it, but at least it's real. And the process of making it is something that I will remember. I would rather spend 10 years of my life trying to figure out how to make a good video by making 1,000 horrible ones than to just ask AI and do it on the first try. And this might sound like I'm saying all of this because I think that this is somehow unfair towards me. And it looks like I think that I deserve what those other people have, but I don't think that at all. I'm actually saying all of this because I find it heartbreaking that what I'm getting out of all of this is becoming extremely rare. And I know for a fact that it is far more powerful than any potential financial outcomes. And I wish more people experience this, because if you just pump out the videos that AI tells you to, in the way that AI tells you to, then my friend, you are the robot. This is definitely the angriest video that I've made so far. And this will be by far the angriest part of the video. One of the use cases of AI that I despise the most is that kids these days don't really have to bother reading the books the teachers tell them to read. They just ask ChatGPT what it's about, it gives them a little summary, and if the students have to do like a presentation about it, which we always had to do, AI does that for them as well, and as like the cherry on top, it ends it with a brief personal opinion section, like my personal take on the book, which I didn't read, and I also didn't do the presentation, and therefore also this opinion I have no connection towards. Yeah. And you see these horrible Instagram profiles and YouTube videos that actually teach children how to cheat at school, which is just mind-blowing, really. And to give you some context, I was a horrible student. I didn't do the vast majority of the homework that we were assigned, but I didn't pretend that I did it. I just said, hey, I don't have it, the teacher gave me an F, and the kids that did do it got a good mark, which they deserved. But the fact that it's unfair is honestly nowhere near the biggest problem in all of this. The bigger problem is that kids should be forced to read those books. It might be boring for a Gen Z teenager to read Shakespeare, but they should still at least try it. I mean, I don't really read Shakespeare anymore. I mean, I don't go out of my way to read Shakespeare, but I'm definitely grateful that I have read some of it and I'm familiar with it in some way. It is critical for young people to be exposed to something that has value and some intellectual depth, and you just won't get that from a ChatGPT summary. Goodbye.